Hey guys, back here from a patio. Today I'm in my brother's backyard again. But today we want to talk to you about the top 5 tips on how to grow the maximum amount of food and medicinals in a small space. And guys, my brother has his trees and medicinals and his flowers really packed into the space. And we're going to walk through and show you what he has, but we're going to give you those tips as we go along. So Nigel, thanks for letting us come through your garden again. And I see a lot has been happening since we did the last video. But I can say that the number one tip that you have instituted here is having dwarf varieties. So guys, when you think about it, when you look at this backyard, you can if I stand here at the edge of the patio, it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to the back of the fence. But my brother has packed in so much food. Like he has all these dwarf varieties. Like he has this naseberry tree or sapodillo or nispero, which is one of my favorite fruits on earth. And this tree is about how old now?
I'd say it's probably approaching 10 years.
Wow.
Or maybe about a little less than 10 years.
But this tree is normally a massive, massive tree in the wild, but he has bought a dwarf variety, which allows him to grow it in a very small space. So, and you can see there are lots of more naseberries coming out. Not only that, but he has his dwarf. This one is a Julie.
This is a carry.
This is a Kerry. He has a dwarf Kerry mango, and you can see this one is how old is this one?
This is close to 18 years.
Wow, 18 years old. And Kerry is also another mango, another variety that is usually small, but then recently when I did that tour at Johnny's backyard, I saw he has a massive one. So a good thing to do is when you get your mangoes, when you get your June plums, when you get your different fruits, you get you request a dwarf variety. Here he has his Julie mango, and that also is laden. And I know that you lost a lot of mangoes recently with the bad weather.
Yeah, I'd say we probably had 4 or 5 times this many mangoes in the
Wow,
tree. The
wow.
entire top canopy was covered with mangoes. But with all of the weather, the breeze, the cold spells that we've had, we've lost a
Wow.
few. But we still have quite a good crop here.
And if you pan around the bottom, you can see the bottom is already full of mangoes. And that takes us to the number two tip. And this tree is actually a number one, which is a dwarf variety, and it's a number two because I know, Nigel, that this tree could really be much bigger. This is a June plum tree,
Yes.
but then you cut it back each season, right?
Absolutely. It bears pretty much continuously, but sometimes whenever there's severe weather or what have you, and it loses its fruit, we usually take the opportunity to crop it back. Particularly because it's so close to the mango
Right,
tree.
right.
So this here we cut it back sometimes quite severely,
Yeah.
and it just comes back. This is all new growth
Oh, wow. Okay.
that's occurring this spring.
Nice, nice. And I can see that it's literally, if you look at the bottom, it's literally like 4 or 5 feet from the mango tree. But
Correct.
then they just grow into each other, but you get abundant fruit from each other. So
Absolutely.
that's another tip number two. Cut your trees back if you have to, keep them in shape. I know that there's another person I know that has a red plum tree, which literally can be a massive tree, but every year after it bears, they chop it all the way back and allow it to spring back. All right, so that takes us to tip number three. Grow trees that are narrow and take up a small square footage. So here we have the Ashoka plants that are they're highly medicinal, and I know that they're considered almost sacred in
Yes,
India.
in India.
And look at this, guys. This is literally taking up maybe 2 square feet, 4 square feet of space. It's just a trunk, and it goes straight up. I did some research on the Ashoka. I didn't realize it has so many medicinal
Oh
benefits.
yeah.
Do you ever use it?
No, but I do intend to, but I just haven't actually used it for that purpose. But I keep in mind that it's here if I need it.
Well, I think I also researched that it grows best by stem cutting, and it's in May and June, and right now we're in May, so it's supposed to be able to replicate very easily from
Oh,
stem
really?
cutting. But this, I was totally blown away when I read about this. I heard it helps diabetes, it helps emotional issues,
Mm-hmm.
it helps with pain,
Mm-hmm.
Everything, the leaves, and then it has flowers. And I don't say the flowers here, but the leaves, the flowers, and the bark are highly medicinal.
Absolutely. It even helps with a lot of female kind of
Menstruation issues.
menstruation
It's
issues
very,
and so
very,
forth.
very,
Yep.
very good with it. As a matter of fact, I read several different websites and it said there are almost no side effects. However, if you are breastfeeding, you should not
Mm-hmm.
use.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to get some leaves and get
Absolutely.
some cuttings before I leave. But that's tip number three. Get plants.
It's
Yeah.
also very fast growing, right?
Oh
This was
yes,
planted at the beginning of
I
COVID, and it
remember.
was no taller than maybe 3 feet.
I remember. I remember when
So
we
in
saw
the
that.
span
Yeah.
of 3 years, it's
Wow, that is
much.
pretty incredible. As a matter of fact, it was well past. I think he got it in 2021 because I remember he planted
Yeah.
it. So this is really awesome, and definitely I want some cuttings and some leaves. I definitely want to try this since I'm not breastfeeding, and definitely it has so many benefits. All right, so that's tip. We have three tips so far. Get dwarf varieties, cut them back if you need to. Get plants that grow in a small area. And then if you come over here, you're gonna see a tip number three and a tip number four. Here's another plant that is really excellent. It's a coconut, and coconut, it spreads out on top, but it grows straight up. So with this is also like a what we just gave with a tip number three, because with a coconut it also takes up a very small space here, so you can plant multiple trees. You can come in and plant herbs around it. It doesn't take up a lot of footprint, so this is another great option. And guys, look at those coconuts. Do you remember the last time I was here, there weren't any coconuts? My brother had just removed all of them, and look, in that short time, look how many coconuts. Hopefully I get some coconuts later. So tip number four, which is one of my favorite tips, is trellising. This is a great way to maximize a small space. And here is my brother's passion fruit vine. And you can see it is taking over the fence. At my house, I have mine growing on an arch, which is also very beautiful and takes up a very small amount of space. But guys, this is the best use of space. He has this fence, which normally wouldn't have any plants in it, but then this is literally taking up zero space because he. Come, let's go over here. Woo wee!
It's actually
Look
loaded.
at this!
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Oh, oh my
Yes.
gosh! It's so pretty. These are ready, ready, ready.
They're ready. They're
Look,
ready.
look at this.
May have some today.
My God! Wait, is this one of my grandkids?
Yes, that's probably a great grandchild.
My great grandchild.
Yes,
So
yes.
this guy, see, all right. I know we're digressing, but we're getting information along the way. In my top survival food video, I talked about bananas. Once you plant a banana, it constantly sends up suckers, and each sucker gives you these beautiful bananas. And this was a grandbaby of my bananas from 2 years ago at my previous house. He planted a sucker, and then his sucker probably did another sucker, and then from that, look at these beautiful bananas
Yeah, I
that
think
are
this is the third
beautiful.
generation.
The third generation,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And of course, it grows well under the canopy of the coconut tree.
I am
I
so
was a little
surprised
bit
that it's,
concerned about that.
yeah, but the coconuts are right here and it's growing so well right here. That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's go past these beautiful bananas and let's look at the passion fruit to see just how much space this is. And as you can see, the passion fruit is just a couple feet off from the bananas. So guys, look at this beautiful passion fruit. And I know you have some fruit in here. I saw them.
It's actually
Ooh.
loaded on the other side.
Oh,
of the
we're gonna have to
fence.
go look at, guys. Look at these beautiful passion fruits. And this started off as a cutting from the tree, from the vine that I have at my house. So you see, so last year he hardly got any. He said he got like two for the entire year, but this year he is loaded with beautiful passion fruit. Look at this, guys, and it's zero space. He has it on his fence, and look at this. Not only is it beautiful, thank God the Gulf frittata or frillaria or whatever they're called. Oh my gosh, thank God those butterflies are leaving me alone. I'm looking through here. I don't know if you guys can see. See if you can go through here. Oh, I'll take the camera. If you look through here, guys, look at all those passion fruit on the other side of the fence. It's awesome, and the whole other side of the fence has passion fruit. So this is really great. All right, so far we have four tips. What else do we have? I promised you 5 tips. So let's go and check out tip number 5. It's on the other side of the garden. Oh, I think we just saw a 6th tip. So guys, I didn't expect this, but I see these beautiful watermelon. I mean,
Pineapples.
these beautiful pineapples that are sitting right underneath Jamaican chrysanthemum,
Pancetta.
Jamaican pancetta, and right like a step away from the mango tree. So guys, this is another a bonus tip before we go to number 5. Plant multiple tree plants, or you can do herbs or whatever around your trees. So here he has this beautiful tree and he has his pineapples underneath it. So instead of digging extra holes in another part of the garden, he's just using the area that would normally not be used. You can add your herbs, you can add your flowers, you can add, in this case, add your pineapples. So he'll be harvesting beautiful pineapples while he enjoys the beautiful flowers of this plant. All right, so now we're gonna go to our number 5. So you got the bonus before you got the number 5, but let's go ahead and get to number 5. And number 5, which is a very, very, very important tip for so many of us. Number 5 is plant in bags. So this is a great tip that can be used by many of you that may not have a garden. You may just have a patio. You may live in an apartment complex, but you really want to grow food. I have cousins. Hey Jennifer, I have cousins who are growing sweet peppers and tomatoes right there on her balcony on her in her apartment. And here you can see she has mustard greens. She has some kind of palms growing here. She has
That's
sweet
ginger.
potatoes. Ginger?
Yeah, that's ginger.
Oh my gosh,
And
how did I
actually,
not
the
recognize
mustard
it?
greens.
Yeah.
If you look, you see, it looks a little bit
Yellow, right?
emaciated.
Yeah.
Well, we eat from that every day.
Wow.
Leaves this morning.
Yes, it was
it had
delicious.
mustard greens.
Yes.
From this one
Come,
and
Storm.
that one. And that's
Wow.
why it's virtually denuded. So,
Oh my goodness.
so yeah, this,
And you can, and as you later go to seed, so you see all the seed pods are coming up, so you can
Yep.
get the seeds and plant more. So that's awesome.
Yep.
It's like I ate so much mustard greens that I was like over it, but I loved that. Was like absolutely delicious.
I use it in many different things.
Wow, my brother made some corned beef and cabbage this morning and he diced up some mustard greens in there. It was off the chain. I had to tell him it was the best corned beef and cabbage I ever had. It was so good. So here you can see they have tomatoes, they have mustard greens, they have um, broadleaf thyme, they have mints. So guys, there's so much you can plant. If you have a nice patio, not only can you have all this food growing, but I think it's absolutely beautiful to just see these beautiful plants. Look at that. It's food, but it's also flowers. So guys, that gives us the top. Oh, look over here. That gives us the top. Look at these, how fat and healthy. Look at these. Wow. Are these actual onions?
Yeah, they're part of the onion family. I use them like
Are these
I
leeks?
use it like scallions.
Okay.
So I dice up the leaves and put
But
it.
you know you have growing down there, right?
Oh, I don't. I
So
didn't.
I just discovered, because I had these that I was using as scallions also, and when I dug it up, there were like 6 nice onions
really?
out of off one root. So you probably have roots out there. So when these die back, definitely harvest them. We probably have onions growing. Awesome. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I promised you 5, but I gave you 6. And those were the top tips on how to maximize your space in a small garden. Till next time, guys. You want us to show them your starfruit tree? Anything on that?
The starfruit. I don't believe there's any fruit on it, but this is another example of a tree that we've had for many years.
Okay.
In this location,
Wow.
doesn't take up much.
Look at this.
Space.
Look at this. Scotch bonnet tree. This is not a bush anymore. This is a tree. Look at this. Wow. And it's in a bag. Guys, look at this. Scotch bonnet peppers. Taller than me. And look. It's right here in a bag. In a grow bag. Scotch. Constant supply. 1 pepper tree. Incredible.
Yeah, this here, fruits about twice a year. It
Nice.
doesn't. We've probably trimmed it back once
Nice.
in several years. And
Wow.
It just keeps on giving.
Yeah,
doesn't
and
take
it's
up
pretty
much space.
compact. It's pretty
Yeah.
compact. So guys, here's another one. Here's another bonus plant of what you can plant to get lots of fruit in a small space. And I know that once it bears, you get abundant fruit. I've seen it, abundant fruit. And that's another thing I like. I like plants. Come Storm, come girl. I like plants that give me fruits multiple times a year, so I don't have to be just waiting once a year like my red
Exactly.
coat plum that only once a year I get fruit. All right, guys, for real, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you hit like and you subscribe and hit that notifier bell so you don't miss anything. We have lots of summer tours coming up. It's summer and it's hot and the fruits are popping, and we got lots of tours to do. Till next time, bye now.